Hey everybody, this is Harry from the BS Travelers, also known as the Budget Savvy Travelers. What I usually do is I go right to Kayak. So I'll Google Kayak and I go to the car rental section. It's as simple as entering where you want to go, the time period. So I'm looking for a car rental next week, or actually later this week. So I'll go up to cars, split, 527, 63. You know, a few important things to remember when you're renting these cars and trying to get the best rate possible. If you're doing anything that's long-term, go check out our other post on getting a car rental through Auto Europe, I believe. And that will give you the absolute best rate where you're doing a short-term lease. If you're doing anything where it's like over 15 days, 17 days in Europe, check out that post. And that'll give you the absolute best rate because those rates are phenomenal if you can get that. If it's more like you're renting for a week or so, follow this pattern or route that I'm going to show you now, and that'll guarantee you the best rates for a short-term rental. And so Kayak will show me the best rates possible for that time period. And you can see, like, right now it's coming up as $56 for 7 days. So that comes out to about $8 a day. Now, that's a phenomenal rate. A lot of times here you'll see deals where they don't say who you're actually renting through. Those are going to give you phenomenal prices. Okay, and those are things you want to go after and take advantage of because they're the absolute best rate. Those are like marketing programs that agencies are putting out to just attract customers because they're dying to get rid of, dying to rent these cars out. Okay, so here it is. So it's showing a price of $5.25 per day without all the additional fees, and you'll notice that I'm paying now online. So a few things to remember when you're renting a car to make sure you're getting the best rate possible. A lot of times you want to focus on going with a local agency. You know, if I go back and look at these agencies, you're not going to see anything that probably looks familiar. Oh, here's an Enterprise, right? And you can see their rental rates are a lot more money. So for the same small car, it's $79 versus $56 is what I'm paying. So always try to go towards those local car rental agencies. They're going to offer usually a much better rate than some of the larger ones. Well, you think, well, geez, I feel more comfortable going with a large rental agency. And that's exactly what they want you to feel. But you have to remember that if you have any kind of issue with the car, let's say something gets scratched or there's an accident or damage and it's not your fault, you're going to have a lot more trouble fighting or arguing with your credit card company, which you booked the card with, versus a large company like a Enterprise and Avis. There's a lot more power behind those corporations rather than a small local agency. So your chances of winning the dispute or coming out at least satisfactory are a lot more fair when you go with that small rental agency, that local rental agency. So I always like and feel more comfortable renting a car with the smaller agencies. Another thing, just make sure you're looking at renting for a smaller length of time. To get that best rate, always do less than a week. The 7-day period will guarantee you a better rate. Once you start getting into over 7 days, 8, 9, 10, you'll see the rates jump up kind of dramatically. So you may have to return the car. If you're renting for 2 weeks, you may have to return the car on the 7th day and pick up a new one just to get that better rate for that second week. Another big tip is to rent as close as possible to the rental period as possible. So if you can try and reserve like I am the week of or the week prior to when you actually need the car, you can save a lot of money that way. You are taking a little bit of risk if it's high season, because if it's high season, the car rental, the cars may not be there. But a lot of times it's worth that risk. Pay for the car ahead of time. I always like paying for the car ahead of time. It makes me feel like I'm getting the best price, and the price is also confirmed ahead of time before my arrival to the car rental agency. You know how when you arrive, they love to tack on, or they try to charge you additional fees. It sort of takes the pressure away from that because you already paid. They know you already paid. And then the other big plus to that is it's almost like you have to have a car there. You're guaranteed a car because you paid ahead of time for this. And it sort of would be absolutely embarrassing for them if you already paid and they don't have a car. They're going to have to get you a car as soon as possible, right? So it basically guarantees you that car for that period when you arrive. So let's just look back at the screen of me actually renting the car. So it's saying pay online now, $525. They have, of course, additional fees. And you can see if I needed anything else, it would charge me. They would charge here additional money. So navigation, additional driver, etc. But you can see my rate now is $56, which it showed on the prior screen. So that's $8 per day. But so this is a great rate. Now, if you feel like you have extra time on your hands and you want to make sure you're getting the absolute best rate possible, there is another little trick that I do, is that I'll go to a place like rentalcars.com. They have a screen that shows you sort of all of the cars they're looking at. So let's do the same thing here with Split. Croatia, same time period. I'm looking at the 27th, 2 o'clock. And I'm just going to take a screenshot of the screen that pops up here so you can get an idea of what I'm doing. Right here, print screen. There are some agencies here that weren't on the prior screen or not included. And one of them, let me just bring it up, was this gold car. That wasn't in Kayak. At least it didn't show me that it was in Kayak. And so I saw a lot of the other ones, or all of them. And so if you go to the Gold Car site, which I did, you can see that I put in the same period, Split, 27th through June 3rd, and they were showing me a rate of 30.29 kuna per day. And this is not a rate where you have to pay ahead. So there is some risk I mentioned about you showing up and trying to have an additional fee, but it might be a risk worth taking, because when you do this, the rate 30 kuna divided by the current exchange rate, and it comes out to basically $4.55 per day. So let's just confirm that rate. We'll do on another screen. Kuna to USD. So I said it was 30.29 kuna per day. 30 kuna per day. And you can see the rate is $4.53 per day for this rental. So let's just go let's just go through the steps and see if it's gonna be that amount when I go and check out. So my reservation includes collect your car, full tank of gas, insurance, taxes, VAT is included, all that good stuff. So this is 310 kuna. If I go through and apply all this, let's say 311 kuna for a 7-day period is $46.47 per week. The other place on Kayak, Sixt, was $56. So here I'm saving $10. If I wanted to take that additional risk of going with a smaller car rental agency than Sixt, which I know it is a little bit smaller here, just from my knowledge of the car rental agencies here in Split, then the additional risk might be worth it. It all depends on your comfort level. So the key takeaways here are: 1, go to Kayak. See what the local agencies are offering. Stay away from the big guys. Stay away from your Enterprises, Avis, etc., right? 2, on the top of Kayak's page, see if there's any marketing promotions going on for car rentals. These are going to offer you the absolute best rates possible. 3, find out what some of the smaller local agencies have to offer. Go to sites like rentalcars.com to see if there's any agencies you haven't seen pop up on Kayak, to see if they're able to offer a better rate. I've gone as far as Google searching local agencies just to make sure I'm covering all my bases in terms of getting the best rate possible. If you don't have that kind of time, going through Kayak, I think will at least give you the comfort level you need to know you're getting a competitive rate. Okay, so that concludes our webinar on short-term car rentals. So once again, thank you for joining us. If you have any questions or comments related to our webinar, please feel free to contact us at thebudgetsavvytravelers.com.